Namaste and welcome to today's Yoga Wheel Flow. I get asked by students quite a bit what to do with their yoga wheel. Predominantly I use it to open through here, the upper chest, but I thought I'd put together a little flow today to share with you. The easiest and simplest way to start on a yoga wheel is to arrive using your feet to navigate so that you can move them forwards and backwards and slowly, steadily lower over them. The other way is to start by simply sitting crossed legs. So let us explore both of these options. So the first one, here I'm sliding the wheel gently inwards, and as I draw it inwards, I can then start to slowly use my feet to lift upwards. And then I can take hands to the floor and gently let the head fall backwards. The wheel is now underneath about my bra strap, the thoracic spine, and then I can start to play as I slowly push and walk the feet backwards. It comes further down my spine. As I slowly walk forwards, it comes up my spine. And you'll find as you do this that you can feel into different parts that you may be holding onto where there may be tension. I'm going to see if we can arrive and just hang out here. My arms have extended slightly wide and out over my shoulders, and I'm just going to hang out for 3 slow breaths. And then slowly, I'm going to bring my hands back to the wheel to hold on to it as I then gently and slowly lower back down, buttocks to the mat. So that's our first access point. And the second one is to come from here, cross legs. You're welcome to come to half lotus, Ardha Padmasana, or to full lotus, but you might find it more comfortable to begin with to just feel. Again, I'm holding the wheel here with my hands as I then slowly lean back into the wheel, letting the heart and the chest gently open, letting the head drop back. I'm going to shift my hands then to the floor, and then I can start lifting upwards so the pelvis, the buttocks float upwards, and then I can keep either the feet here or step them once again like they were previously so that they are flat. And again, hang out here. This time you might notice I've let my head arrive on the mat. And this gives me another sense of grounding, another connection to the mat so that I'm not rolling forwards or backwards. You might like to have a go here at slowly arcing the arms all the way around and bringing them this time above your head to the 2 edges of your yoga mat and breathing here. If you're comfortable, we can start taking here this wheel a little further up your spine. So I'm now coming a little deeper into that thoracic, which may mean that your hands now lift off of the mat. And I'm going to hang here for a few breaths. And if you're comfortable and want to come further, we can try slowly bending. The hands might come here just behind your head, and you can use the head to gently draw them downwards, or you might be able here, and you can see as I do so, I'm using my feet, lifting the wheel a little higher so that I can take hold here of the wheel with my hands before I then slowly roll forwards and backwards again. If you're comfortable and you're able, you might find you can lower right down towards the mat with the head and pause here. I quite like hanging out here for a few breaths and then seeing if I can come a little bit deeper. This time, instead of just holding the sides of the wheel, I try and intertwine my fingers right around the wheel here and then do the same movement, slowly letting the head release, using the feet to slowly then guide my head and this time my elbows down toward the mat. It's quite a deep stretch, which is lovely into the armpits, the triceps and lats. And then when you're ready here, if you want to come even deeper, you can try slowly straightening your legs and holding here. If it's too much, release the hands just slightly and pause. And 5, then slowly let us bring hands back down. control the wheel and arrive. This time we're going to add a little bit of balance. Instead of controlling the wheel with our feet, we're going to use a head and one hand. So we can try this time to lift not just our legs, but possibly even one hand off of the floor. So up we float again, slowly. Find your earth with the hands. Let the head gently release. And then gently walk the feet back so that the head can make that earth connection here. Once you've grounded, you might be comfortable with the backs of the hands touching the floor here. You might prefer to turn them so that the palms press down, whichever suits you. And then I'm going to use just one leg into the mat and see if I can extend this other leg right upwards in a vertical line towards the ceiling. You'll need to play with the balance point here and work out where it is for you as you then come into here, the next part where we are slowly going to float the second leg upwards towards the first. Of course, you can play with all sorts of different shapes here. Instead of the straight line, you can come here, a V one direction, a V in the other direction. You can bend into one leg. You can bend into the other leg. You can bend into both legs. And then when you're ready, let us come back up to our extended leg and see this time if we can release one arm. Slowly draw this one upwards and see if we can make here a little mudra with our hand. Breathing, exhale, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the hand back. Slowly, slowly let us lower down and release out of the wheel. This time we're going to come even deeper into the beginning stages of Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. So it's similar to what we've just done, only at some point we'll release the wheel out from underneath. Again, start hands under the wheel, gently roll back. Find that balance point, so use hands wherever works for you. Head gently drops down to the earth. When you're ready here, we can again slowly, slowly start to float upwards. So you can see I'm starting to shift my weight backwards as I come here. So here's the lifting upwards. And then this time I can support here my spine with my hands. And then slowly, slowly I'm going to try and lower the legs over my head. In fact, I might even release my hands and let them come above the mat so I can now slowly, slowly come into what is called halasana or plow pose. And as I do so, the wheel gently releases out as I do this. And this then enables me to come back into here, my shoulder stand, with the legs upwards towards the ceiling. Back into plow. Again, release the hands, bring them down. And if you want to, you can even intertwine your fingers here, extend them out. And then very, very slowly, we'll use the hands to support the spine. Hopefully the wheel has rolled a little bit forwards to give us space to arrive back down on our mat. Now that has all been great for opening up the chest. We can come one step further, if you would like to the beginning stages of something called Kapotasana. And this one asks, instead of starting on our buttocks, we start now on our shins. The wheel is now behind me, and very slowly I'm going to just check that it's centered as I lean back and sit now on the wheel. From here, I'm going to take hands to my heels, lift the chest, lift the heart, a halfway Ustrasana. Exhale here, 4 and 5. Now in order to come down, I need to slowly slide the wheel out. So to do this, I'm going to start to walk my knees gently further forwards. And there's the wheel. It's now slid downwards, which enables me to now release off of the hands and then slowly lie back on my spine. Again, we can do that same movement, circling the arms around. If you're comfortable, you can start reaching either hands behind our head. If you're comfortable, seeing if you can reach and hold onto the wheel and breathe here. If you want to come even deeper, you can try sliding the wheel a bit further upwards and then again reaching and taking hold of the wheel, walking the hands then slowly downwards and letting the elbows drop down towards the mat. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly I'm going to release. Use the floor once again, slide forwards, and we can come out. Now that the heart is well and truly open, let us see if we can explore a little bit more with our shoulders. As I turn around now, I'm going to slowly roll the wheel forwards, and as I roll it forwards, let my chest now slowly start to drop. Now as I do this, just starting to allow here, again the triceps, again the latissimus to slowly open. Breathing and then subtly rolling forwards and backwards and gently softening into this movement. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Then gently let us release. And finally into a supported crescent moon. Again using the wheel. This time I'm taking my right foot on top of the wheel. As I take it on top, I just want to lean into it here and slowly start to stretch a little bit through the split. So I'll feel it either in the right hamstrings or here in the left hip flexor. And then I'm going to take the whole foot over the top. So I'm now sitting here, my thigh, back of the thigh into the wheel. And so now I can again just gently rock here and come much more comfortably into the beginning stages of splits. Hands to the heart center, hands to the waist, and then slowly up to the heart center. And as I do so, lifting the chest. And if you're comfortable, you can reach the arms out. Slowly, slowly take them up and over. And let us swap sides. So I'm going to now shift this leg back. Take my left foot now on top of the wheel, balancing here and just slowly, slowly breathing into this movement, feeling that right hip flexor getting a stretch. And when you're ready, taking the wheel now underneath your left thigh, sinking here into it, again stretching into this right hip flexor, hands to the pelvis, hands to Anjali Mudra, and when you're ready, hands up and over your head. Gently let us come back. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we'll shift the wheel out to the side and rest. Knees bent, spine flat on the mat. 3 breaths here. And then we'll come into Shavasana. When you're ready, bringing some awareness back into your body, back to your breath. Some movement to hands and feet, hugging the knees up and towards your chest. Taking your time and very slowly, let us make our way back up to sitting. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today.